She sat alone in the little diner booth. Her silver dress catching the glow of the neon lights outside. 10 minutes had passed, then 20. Her phone screen stayed dark. No new messages. He wasn't coming. She took a shaky breath, trying to smile at her reflection in the spoon beside her coffee cup around her. Couples laughed, forks clinked, music played, but she felt small and visible until a man with tired eyes and a warm smile stopped by her table and said softly, "You okay, ma'am?" That one question would change both their lives forever. Before we dive into this true-to-heart story about kindness, second chances, and unexpected love, don't forget to subscribe to TRUTHLINES USA, where we share real, emotional stories that remind us what truly matters in life. If you enjoy this story, please like, comment, and share it with someone who still believes in kindness. Diner was half empty. That Friday night rain tapped gently against the windows and the smell of fresh pie floated through the air. Sarah Monroe sat by herself, pretending to scroll through her phone. So no one would notice the tears welling up in her eyes. She was supposed to meet someone. A man she'd met online, charming, funny, full of compliments for weeks. They'd messaged every night. He said he liked her honesty and down-to-earth spirit. He didn't know she was the CEO of a billion-dollar company that everyone in town admired, but few truly understood. She didn't tell him because she wanted to know how it felt to be seen, really seen, for who she was, not for her money. Now, an hour past their dinner time, it was clear he wasn't coming. Sarah sighed, quietly laughing at herself. Maybe she deserved this, maybe. It was silly to believe that someone could care about her, not. Her bank account. She reached for her purse, ready to leave, when a little voice called out from behind her booth, "Daddy, can we have pie now?" The voice belonged to a girl, maybe 6 years old, with curly hair and a pink raincoat. The man sitting across from her, maybe mid-30s, with rough hands and a gentle face, looked up at Sarah. He gave her an apologetic smile. "Sorry about her," he said. "She's got a sweet tooth, the size of Texas." Sarah smiled faintly. "No problem, pie's a good idea." The man looked at her for a second, noticing perhaps the untouched coffee, the untouched meal, and the sadness behind her smile. "You waiting for someone?" he asked kindly. She hesitated. "I was," she said softly, "but I guess plans changed." He nodded, understanding instantly. One of those nights. Something in his tone, not pity, not judgment, just quiet understanding, made her chest ache. "Tell you what," he said, "my daughter and I, we're just about to split a slice of apple pie. There's enough to go around if you'd like to join us." She blinked, surprised. "Oh, I couldn't intrude, please," he interrupted with a warm grin. "It's better than sitting alone pretending to like cold coffee for the first time that night." Sarah laughed. She joined them. The little girl's name was Emma. She was a bright ball of energy, talking about her kindergarten art projects and how she wanted to be a pie chef when she grew up. Her dad's name was Tom Keller, a single father who worked at the local auto shop. He spoke with quiet pride about raising Emma, how her mom had left when she was 2, and how every night he prayed to give her the life she deserved. Sarah listened, touched by the love in his voice. When Tom asked what she did for work, Sarah hesitated again. She didn't want to lie, but she also didn't want to shift the conversation, so she said, simply, "I work in management, keeps me busy." He chuckled. "You look like someone who's got the whole world on her shoulders." She smiled at that because he wasn't wrong. The rain fell harder outside as they talked. Hours slipped away. Sarah felt normal, comfortable. Scene. It was strange. Here she was, the woman whose face appeared on business magazines, sitting in a small-town diner sharing pie with a mechanic and his little girl, and she felt happier than she had in years. When it came time to leave, Tom offered to walk her to her car. The rain had turned into a cold drizzle. "Thank you," she said softly when they reached her sleek black car. "For what?" "For noticing," she said. "Most people don't." He smiled. "Well, you looked like you needed a friend, and I've learned that a little kindness can turn a bad night around." She got into her car and watched him and Emma run across the parking lot under the flickering streetlight. Something about that image, a father holding his daughter's hand, laughing in the rain, stayed with her long after. She drove away the next week. Sarah couldn't stop thinking about them, so she did something unusual. She stopped by the diner again. And sure enough, there they were, sitting at the same booth, splitting another slice of pie. When Emma saw her, she waved excitedly. "It's the pretty lady from the rainy night." Sarah laughed and joined them again soon. Weekly diner visits became their little ritual. Sometimes they talked about life, sometimes about nothing. At all, Tom never treated her like she was special. And that, ironically, made her feel truly special. Months past, the friendship grew deeper. One evening, Sarah finally decided to tell Tom the truth. They were walking along the park trail, Emma running ahead, chasing fireflies. Sarah stopped and turned to him. "There's something I haven't told you." She began. "The job I mentioned. It's a little more than management. I actually run a company. A big one." He raised an eyebrow, half smiling like, how big? She took a breath. "Monroe Technologies." His mouth fell open. "Wait, the one on the hill? The one that just donated laptops to every school in the county?" That's the one. He let out a low whistle. "Wow, guess I was eating pie with the boss lady this whole time." She smiled nervously. "Does that change anything?" He looked at her for a long moment. "Thin," he said simply. "Only if you want it to." Her heart swelled. A few weeks later, the auto shop where Tom worked was forced to shut down. A big chain garage had bought the land, leaving everyone out of work. Tom didn't complain, he never did, but Sarah saw the quiet worry in his eyes, the fear of not being able to provide for Emma. That night, she stayed up thinking. The next morning, she called her company's HR director. Within a week, Tom was offered a position in Monroe Tech's vehicle maintenance division, with full benefits and a flexible schedule so he could still pick up Emma from school. When he found out, he was speechless. "I didn't want charity," he said softly. "It's not charity," she said. "It's kindness. The same kind you showed me when I needed it." He blinked hard, his voice thick. "You really are something, Sarah." Over time, what began as friendship quietly turned into love, not the flashy movie kind, but the real gentle kind that grows from respect and kindness. One evening, Tom showed up at her office with a small box in his hand. It wasn't diamonds or gold, just a simple silver locket with a picture of Emma and Sarah inside. "Family," he said softly. "That's all I've ever wanted, and I think I found mine." Tears filled her eyes. She had built empires, signed million-dollar deals, and traveled the world. But that moment, standing in her office with a mechanic holding a simple locket, was the richest she had ever felt. A year later, that same diner where they first met had a new name painted above the door. Emma's Place. Tom ran the kitchen, Sarah helped design the business, and Emma greeted every customer with a smile that could light up the whole room. Locals often asked how it all began. Sarah would just smile and say, "With a slice of pie and a little bit of kindness," because kindness, the kind that costs nothing but means everything, has the power to change lives, to heal lonely hearts, to build families. So the next time you see someone sitting alone, someone who looks like the world forgot them, remember Tom. Remember Sarah. You never know what story you might step into just by caring. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe to TRUTHLINES USA, hit like, and share it with someone who believes the world could use a little more kindness, because sometimes one simple act of kindness is the start of something beautiful.